Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It is Thursday morning, a beautiful morning. Just came from the gym. Got a little workout in. Enjoying my life, keeping myself motivated, trying to stay positive. You know how it is, guys. You got to be you have to be your own cheerleader. You have to pat yourself on the back, guys. You have to keep yourself motivated. Stay positive. Stay upbeat. So anyway, guys, this video is talking about the gaslighting of workers in America. This country was built by workers. Let me say it again. This country was built by millions of hard-working Americans. Black, white, Asians, Mexicans, natives, Europeans, from Germans to Irish to Russians. This country was built by hard-working people. I don't even want to say the word Americans. Hard-working people built this country from nothing. Built all the skyscrapers and the bridges, all the roads, the cars, homes. Hard workers in the hot sun, in the rain, in the winter, in the fall. Some lack proper food and nutrition. Some lack water. Still worked hard to build this country. But we have turned into a country of evil psychopaths. All we want to do is gaslight and hate each other. And I understand the program, it's the Matrix. The system want to take all of your soul, all of your energy, all of your time, all of your mind, and want to give you a small portion of your life for happiness, for spirituality, for personal growth. Capitalism, guys, it is a relentless leech. It is a relentless tick. It is a relentless vampire. It is a relentless mosquito just nagging and pulling at your every being. You can't get away from them. It's an invisible force that drives you to work harder and harder and longer and longer. It's never satisfied. But no one wants to work. No one wants to be abused. No one wants to be misused. No one wants to be disrespected. No one wants to be bullied and harassed. No one wants to be cheated and underpaid. Where are all those comments? Do you want to be cheated? Do you want to be lied to? Do you want your money stolen from you? Do you want to be denied your overtime pay? Do you want to be denied your compensation? No. So after you work 20 years and you're tired, now you're lazy. After you done work 30 years and you're tired, you don't want to work anymore, now you're lazy. Guys, work is not a reward. That is not a reward. Work is not honor. Work is punishment. It is a necessary evil, but it's still an evil. That's why when they used to send people to prison, they'd send them to prison with hard labor because they knew work was punishment. Slavery, that was work, that was punishment. But if you don't work hard enough, you're lazy. If you don't work often enough or frequent enough, you're lazy. It don't matter how long you work. It don't matter how many years you work. It don't matter how diligent you work. If you're not working at the right pace, at the right time, under the right circumstances, the observer says that you're lazy. Because you're not working hard enough for them, for their satisfaction. But the country was built of millions of hours of labor. But no one wants to work. So why can't I work overtime if I'm so lazy? If no one wants to work, put the overtime, unlimited overtime. If no one wants to work, they're not going to do that because they know what's going to happen. Make it unlimited overtime if no one wants to work. Raise the pay to $50 an hour if no one wants to work. You're not going to do that because you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen if you raise the pay to $30, $40, $50 an hour. You want to keep the wages low to insult and demoralize people. Why do you want to keep the wages low? Because you want people to suffer. That's why. It's not that you can't afford to pay more. You want people to suffer. That's the matrix. The matrix is violence. And then the matrix hires and programs the upper slaves to gaslight the lower slaves, calling them lazy. That's how the matrix works, guys. You're being gaslighted. You're being tricked into abusing your fellow human beings, your fellow citizens. Many people have worked all their life. They're tired. You don't know the difference. You don't know what they've been doing. You're just an observer. You're just looking. And you see something that looks like it's not moving hard enough. It's not moving fast enough. It's not working hard enough. That person could have just worked a 15-hour shift. They're tired. So, but this country is built on hatred. That's all it is. No one wants to work is a sign of hatred. No one wants to be abused by corporate greed and the insatiable appetite of capitalism. It's everywhere. This is a disposable society with a ferocious appetite, and it will eat anything and everybody. And the only reason children, 7, 8, 9, 10, the only reason capitalism will not put children to work is because it's illegal. But it wasn't always that way. It didn't always used to be that way, guys. Hold on. Here we go, guys. I like to bring the facts. Let's read it. Child labor. This is capitalism now. This is capitalism. Capitalism does not care. They want you to work from birth to death. They do not care about anything, anybody. They want to work your soul for until you die. And then they want to sell your organs after you're dead. They want to recycle your organs. Capitalism in America, under the conditions that this is a disposable society. I'm going to show you how they used to treat children, and they would do the same thing today if it was not illegal. Because the beasts, the serpents of capitalism don't care, guys. They're on their yachts. Okay, guys, let's look. Let's read. Child labor was common in the 1900s, with 18% of all children workers under the age of 16 in 1900. Small children were often preferred because they could fit into small spaces that adults couldn't. However, child labor was associated with poor growth, malnutrition, disease, and behavioral and emotional disorder. That's what happens when you work people harder, and harder, like they're a mule. In response, labor unions and social reformers advocated for state and local legislation to prevent extreme child labor. They used to work 8-year-olds for 10 hours a day, 8 years old. And some countries still do it. 9 years old, 10 years old. These people, they wasn't going to school. They were illiterate workers. Then we got adults that's somewhat illiterate workers. When I say illiterate, I'm talking about like they can't think for themselves. All they want to do is work and hate and criticize and judge. Work, hate, criticize, and judge. Because that's what work do to you. It steals your soul. I'm not talking about all work in general, guys. I'm talking about the concept of working for capitalism in America. I know we have to work. I know we have to provide. I understand that. That's how the country was built. I'm saying, but the country was built off the backs of the people. And it never stops. That's what I'm saying. They want their children and their children to continue the same madness for infinity. Okay, guys, let me finish. Extreme child labor. By 1900, some states had passed laws, but enforcement varied widely. In 1906, the first federal bill to end child labor was introduced, but it wasn't adopted. Instead, it led to more study of working conditions and a series of legislative proposals that eventually culminated in the Fair Labor Standards of 1938. See, guys, that's what I'm talking about. When you talking about, look at a child working in a factory. History of child labor in the United States, Part 1, little children working. There was a time in this country when young children routinely worked legally. As industry grew in the period following the Civil War, children, often as young as 10 years old, but sometimes much younger, labored. They worked not only in industrial settings, but also in retail stores, on the streets, on farms, and in home-based industries. See, guys, this is what I'm talking about. See? Guys, I'm going to read this real quick. The September 1906 edition of the Cosmopolitan magazine recounts a story once told of an old Native American chieftain. The chieftain was given a tour of the modern city of New York. On this excursion, he saw the soaring heights of the grand skyscrapers and the majesty of the Brooklyn Bridge. He observed the comfortable masses gathered in amusement at the circus and the poor huddled in tenements. Upon the completion of the chieftain's journey, several Christian men asked him, "What is the most surprising thing you have seen?" The chieftain replied slowly with 3 words: "Little children working." Little children working. This is 1906. See, guys, this is what I'm talking about. All right, guys, let's read a little more. Let's start right here. Let's see. Let's start right here. Where it says New York. New York or any other American city has city no longer exists. The move away from engaging children in economically productive labor occurred within the last 100 years. So it hasn't even been that long. As numerous authors on the subject have remarked, children have always worked. In the 18th century, the arrival of a newborn to a rural family was viewed by the parents as a future beneficial laborer, and an insurance policy for an old age. An insurance policy for old age. At an age as young as 5, a child was expected to help with farm work and other household chores. The agrarian lifestyle common in America required large quantities of hard work, whether it was planting crops, feeding chickens, or mending fences. Large families with less work than children would often send children to another household that could employ them as a maid, servant, or plowboy. Most families simply could not afford the cost of raising a child from birth to adult without some compensating labor. So the difficulty of having a family that today is not new. People think, oh, it's expensive to have a child. It was expensive then to have a child. It's expensive now because children literally don't do anything but take for the first 20 years. For 20 years. And let the child go to work maybe at 16 or 17. See? Okay? But the parents got to go to work and got to raise and feed the children. But what if the society or the company, they're not paying enough? The struggle continues. Okay, let's continue. Okay, guys, that's it for that. That's it. Okay, guys, that's it. That's all I had to say, guys. About the concept of work and being lazy and all that stuff, man, it's ridiculous. And they have gaslighted the higher slaves. They have employed the higher slaves to gaslight the lower slaves. They call them lazy. But they don't want to pay overtime. Why wouldn't you want to pay overtime to somebody who's lazy? It makes no sense. I thought they was lazy. So anyway, guys, until next time, guys, keep your house clean, keep your life clean, keep your mind clean, keep your diet clean, keep your car clean. And guys, remember, you are being gaslighted to hate. The matrix, the program is designed to hate. Guys, download and deploy your anti-mind virus software. Debug and unplug from the matrix. Drink plenty of spring water to flush out the toxins, the poison, and the chemicals that's in the food supply. Guys, you are being poisoned. You are involved in 3 wars, whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not. You are involved in a chemical warfare against your body. You're involved in a psyop warfare against your mind. And you are involved in a biological warfare with the pharmaceutical industry. You're being attacked on all sides. You're being programmed to destroy yourself. You're being programmed to self-destruct. You're being programmed to spread hate. You're being programmed to raise the next batch of slaves to work endlessly for their whole life. And you're being programmed to not even like them or dislike them if they don't work the same ferocious standards that you had to work. You've been programmed to dislike your own children, your own family. If they're not working hard in the fields for the Matrix Master. So I had to change the way I feel about that. I don't dislike people who don't work. That's their life. I look like we got too many workers anyway. So why would I dislike somebody who's not working? When if you go apply for a job, they're not hiring. This place not hiring. That place over there not hiring. Then when the work slow down, they want to lay you off. They want to furlough you. They want to cut back on your hours. Cut back on my bills. See, they're not cutting back on the bills, but they want to cut back on your hours. See, that the system is out of balance. You can't go to your mortgage company or your lender and say, I want you to cut back on my bills. So guys, until next time, guys, Contraband 777, I'm signing off. Guys, be dedicated, be responsible, and be committed to yourself. Work just enough. We have to work just enough to satisfy your needs. Don't overindulge in capitalism and consumerism. They control you by your wants, and they manipulate you by your needs. Let me say it again. They control you by your wants, and they manipulate you by your needs. Because they convince you that you need more than you actually do. Until next time, guys, Contraband 777 signing off. Now go and conquer yourself. Peace.